Now I'm excited to talk about Game of Thrones for sure.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's get into this section. Play a little. Can we just say how awesome, like, how? Sorry.
Hey, no,
technical.
You could play it on repeat, and
Just-
I would be fine.
How dope is that? The violin little solo breakdown right there. Classic.
Yeah, I mean, that's not what I was thinking of. I thought you were just going to say the song's great, but yeah, that's cool.
Oh, the
I
song
love
is
the violin.
great. Yeah, the song's
Yeah.
great, but that violin is like
No, but really shout out to Game of Thrones like soundtrack, especially season 6. Like that, this show is incredible. But yeah.
And now we're diving in. So you both know that we're recording today, just hours before the premiere of season 8.
That's what I'm talking about.
The show you'll all be listening to in a post Game of Thrones season 8 episode 1 world. So lucky to all these listeners right now, you have seen the first episode of Game of Thrones. But we're going to do a little predictions. I have some questions for Johnny and Travis. And I'm curious, the ultimate question, I want to hear you both answer. Who will sit on the Iron Throne?
Travis, you want to go first?
Go for it, Johnny.
I believe it will be Jon Snow sitting on the Iron Throne at the end of the day.
Sorry, you mean Aegon Targaryen.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Don't discredit him with
dude.
with saying his
Okay.
Wow, unreal, dude.
whatever.
Unreal. No
I'm
one
gonna take
knows
the
him as that,
unpopular
okay?
Opinion here. I don't think anyone's going to sit on the Iron Throne. I think that pretty much a lot of people are going to die, and maybe King's Landing is going to go into ruin. Essentially, there might be some people that survive this great battle, and they end up taking up home in the north and kind of going from there. But I think King's Landing is done. I think if you look at it, like all the people that are there, Cersei's killed everybody that really matters there, except for herself and like her people. All the common folk are there. I don't think that. I think that city's pretty much done.
Nice. On that note, who doesn't die? I tried to think of this question in a million different ways, but I guess by the end of the show, who do you think is still standing? Do you think there'll be a Stark as Warden or King of the North? Do you think, how many Targaryens are left? Who do you think is left standing as we see that closing scene at the end of the season?
Travis, you want to go first?
Yeah. I think Arya lives. I think she's gone through so much, and the whole thing has been the plight with her with death and life, and she's done a lot of work to be in the face of death all the time, which would make you think like she's gonna die. But I think the essential twist to that is no, she lives, and she can get all these faces all the time. So I think that I think Arya makes it through, and I think we're talking about a Stark. I think that she makes it through. I was actually thinking the other day, I think that Cersei could live.
Oh.
Like everybody keeps saying that because everybody keeps saying she's going to die, right? And so my thing was like, oh, that would be the ultimate, like, F you to all these people that want to see her die, is that she lives. And I know that we've had a lot of wins in the last 2 years, especially since they've gone away from the books, or the books haven't been, like, they got past the books.
Right.
So since then, we've had a lot of wins, a lot of good wins, and we're feeling good about where we're going. Jon Snow's not a bastard anymore, and he's with Daenerys, and all this stuff is great. Our only real big loss in the last couple of years has been the dragon. So, like, for me, I'm like,
what? Hodor? Hodor.
Well, sorry. Well, that was season 5.
Yeah.
Either way. For me, I think Cersei would be a real FU. So I think that
would be really interesting. Gosh, this is a really difficult question.
Well, you already said Jon's going to sit on the Iron Throne, so wouldn't you think that Jon survives?
Yeah, but here's what I'm okay. So Game of Thrones, they released the soundtrack, and apparently there's supposed to be like a lot of hints as to what's going on in the season. And one of the songs is the "Don't Let Me Live, Don't Let Me Die," and I think that refers to Jon Snow. And I have an eerie suspicion that Jon Snow, because he's always been this guy who's like, let me try to make peace, which is great. Like, I think that's great. But I think he's going to try to make peace with the
Night King.
the Night King, and he's going to
That dude
say
doesn't talk,
You
bro.
can't make peace with the night.
but he's going to say, I mean, if the guy shakes his hand, makes the deal, it doesn't matter. You don't need to speak, okay? Here's what I'm
Shakes
saying.
his hand, he turns into a White
Hey,
Walker. What kind of deal?
I think that's the deal. I think Jon Snow will say, I will turn into you can turn me into a White Walker, but leave the people alone, and we'll take this land or whatever. We'll go somewhere else. I think that's what he'll do.
Heard it first here, folks.
Yeah, that's
Wow.
what my prediction is. So, but I think that I think he leaves Daenerys. Now that would change my previous question answer, but I don't know. I think
We don't know. We clearly don't know. Okay. 2 more questions.
okay.
Whose character reunion are you looking forward to most? We, in season 7, just got like mounds and mounds of characters getting to reunite and come back together. In season 8, we have a few more that are anticipated. Who are you most looking forward to seeing together on screen again?
All right. Well, I gotta. If I don't mention this, then my wife would be Jade would be pretty upset. Gentry and Arya. A lot of people want that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But me personally, I want Brianna Tarr and
Tormund.
no, not Tormund. And Jaime Lannister. I want those two to reunite and have a child, and then that is the person. Yeah.
Wow, that escalated. They just meet again and they have a kid.
Dude,
right
they
there.
are in love. Okay.
There's not a time really to like bringing kids in right now. Like the Walkers are there.
You never know. Anything could happen.
I think obviously the sap in me wants to see Arya and Jon Snow together. Obviously, the Jon Snow and Sansa was really good, really tugged on the heartstrings. And I just wish Bran wasn't so serious. Bran is my favorite character, so I just love the way that Bran's character has gone. But Bran and Jon, I wanted to see too, because if you remember when Jon said goodbye to Bran, it was like that really heated exchange with Jon and Catelyn Stark by the bedside with Bran, and Ned showed up there. And Catelyn's like, I want you to leave, when he was trying to say goodbye to Bran.
Right.
And so I really would love to see that, but like Bran has no emotion anymore. So I really don't know if that scene's going to pay off the way I wanted to. So
yeah, he might just say like, oh, you're going to die.
No, I think there's a part in the trailer where he's talking to someone and he says everything you've done in this life has led you here to home, and I think that's when he's talking to Jon.
Oh,
I think that's
interesting.
what Bran's gonna say, but maybe we'll see.
Huh.
Maybe we'll see. Maybe you guys already know. You're listening right now, and you are. He walks in the door, and John walks in the door, and Bran's like, "Yeah, you just banged your aunt, dude."
Yeah, right.
Like right off the bat, like doesn't
Like,
even ease him in.
The first thing, yeah. Oh man. That's great.
Okay,
All
one
right.
last question. It's kind of a buzzer beater. I'm just curious to see who will answer it first. What do we say to death?
Not today.
Yeah.
Wait, sorry. Repeat the question. I had no snare in my headphones.
Oh yeah, sure.
I didn't.
Likely story.
No,
likely
I'm
story.
serious. I had no snare in my headphones.
What do we say to death?
Oh. Why, hello.
Not today.
Why, hello. That's what we
Why,
say.
hello.
Johnny is on Team White Walker. Everybody. It's so clear.
No, it's just like, no, I'll be honest with you. After I rewatched the end part, or like the last episode, and like, realistic, let's be real here. How on earth is this going to happen? Like, Even if you get all the dragon glass that you could possibly mine.
It's the dragons, right? It has to be the dragons.
It's got to be that.
That's the only. Here's your only way to win.
Okay, here I got a question for you two, for Chelsea and for Travis. All right, and Jade and I were talking about this yesterday. Obviously, the dragon is going to have to die by the contraption that they made, right? The bit that they originally. Yes. Who do you think? So they're going to make a big arrow that has dragon glass on it, right? And that's how they're going to have to beat. Okay. Who do you think is going to shoot that? Who do you think is going to be the person who shoots
Jamie?
that? See, that's what I think. I think Jamie.
Well, because look, Jamie can't really fight all that well anymore. So
Right.
because with the one, so give him something he can do that's really big. I like that.
he couldn't do that. There was an episode where he couldn't. He told Braun to go do it.
Right.
Because he only had one hand.
Right.
Yeah.
So
He-
that.
But maybe he does it
Fire.
still. Maybe they load it for him or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, I really buy into the, like, so much has been made about the way that Bran can warg. And so I really think we're going to see some really intense stuff there. Like maybe he wargs into a dragon.
That would be dope.
They also made a big deal about how he was the only one who could warg into other, like, beings, humans.
Oh yeah.
So, like, what's going on there?
Yeah,
What
that
is he
could be
gonna do?
interesting. And isn't it in the books? Can't Jon Snow also warg?
Well, I think a lot of them can warg in the books, like the Starks. It's like in their blood. Like I think Arya in the books can. I think,
Interesting.
yeah. I
Okay.
think there's a lot of stuff there.
All right.
Man,
Well,
what a great show.
yeah, that was awesome. Thank you so much, Chelsea, for the questions. Hey, Whisper Nation, if you watched last night and now you're listening to our show, or you haven't watched it yet and you want to answer the questions, let us know. What do you think of Travis and I's response? Do you agree with us? Disagree? What are your opinions? We want to know. And as always, please like and subscribe on the video and follow us on all social media platforms. But if that's too complicated, like you're just like, oh, that's too many things, I have to just go to thefantasywhispers.com, and we have all the links on our homepage to all of our social media, as well as we're constantly putting up new stuff. We've got new articles coming out. We got Stepmom Lauren just put out an article for us, and we just Travis, you want to tell Whisper Nation what we just?
Yeah, really excited about our man over in Philadelphia, Chase Buck. He is a brand new writer for the Fantasy Whispers. Going to come on this, probably do some daily fantasy guide to help you guys out for those first timers playing daily. And he's got all sorts of other articles that he wants to put out. And so we're going to get that ball rolling, and we're excited to bring him on the team. If any of you are aspiring writers for fantasy football and want to get in touch with us and talk to us a little bit about maybe contributing to this awesome thing we've got going here, let us know. Slide in those DMs, message us. And as Johnny said, you can find a lot of this information at thefantasywhispers.com.
All right. Until next time, that's Big Travie. I'm Johnny Game Time Hicks, and that's Chelsea, the woman behind the mirror, Chelsea Lee Byers.
Where is this mirror?
What?
Where's the mirror?
It's wherever you want it to be.
All right.
All right. So until next time, we are the Fantasy Whispers. Take it easy, Whisper Nation. We're out. Peace.
Thank you for listening to the Fantasy Whisperers podcast. You can hear more from John and Travis on Google Play, SoundCloud, and iTunes. You can also follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at TF Whisperers.